Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching Warrior Nun Season 2, Episode 7, Psalms 116 to 15, or something. I still cannot do the Bible verse numbers. I love the show. The last episode was freaking insane. Almost felt like a finale itself with how it all ramped up, and there are 2 episodes left, and how on earth, what is going to happen next? I am stressed. I'm also excited. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction and all of my reactions to this show on my Patreon, which means right now unedited. They're up 2 weeks in advance unedited, which means right now all of it is up unedited, and the edited versions are also up 1 week in advance. It's all up edited as well, if I can do basic maths right. Let's go. Oh lord. Lilith, what are you doing? Like, I hope at least in this episode we're gonna find out what Lilith's up to, you know, because if she's truly just fallen for Adriel's spell, I'm so disappointed for her. If she's just decided, well, I'm gonna be a super powerful demon lady now, woo, go me, I'm still disappointed in her, but slightly less so than I would be if she's just a loyal Adriel follower. I'll respect a woman's becoming an evil supervillain in her own right, but not for no man.
He enlightened me.
Stupid girl.
It's Adriel's final plague. A burning light that only scorches non-believers.
Jesus Christ. Well, I'd be staying inside then, away from the windows.
They can help you.
They actually would as well, despite everything you've done for Adriel so far. No. Why are you fighting Ava right now? For him?
Okay, your sisters need you. My sisters?
Yes, your sisters who are fucking worried about you.
I don't belong to. For the glory of a god who has abandoned me.
What about for your own self-worth, rather than just doing whatever Adriel says? Oh yes, sir, no, sir, I'll worship at your feet, sir. That is what you're doing right now. You've traded a sisterhood of women who believed in you, who searched for you when you were missing, who search for each other, who care about each other, who forgive each other for their mistakes, for what, blindly worshipping some random guy who happens to be powerful. Yes, maybe, you know, I don't believe in God, so obviously I don't. If I were to be running around with them, I would be helping them because it was the right thing to do, and not because I believed that God cared about it. But that doesn't even matter right now. If you just take the stupid powerful beings about it, just because Adriel has power, why should we worship him? Okay, great, Lilith, you proved oh my god. Is this what you want? All of us dead?
Come with me. Adriel will give you the freedom you've been seeking.
This is such a great pitch. I'm gonna skewer you and then be like, oh, by the way, you want to join our team? Could have brought her and had a chat. She wouldn't, if you'd said, look, Truce, let's talk. Ava would not have fought you. She only fought you because you were fighting her.
You could never suit yourself.
I love you, Ava. Good job, Ava. I'm so proud of you. Fuck. Well done, my sunshine. This has been a hellish day. It's all fine though, because the first plan had to fail so that the plan in the finale can succeed. It's all gonna work out. Double check everything's recording because I have anxiety.
My life is a long series of mistakes.
We should freaking forgive you after all the good you've done.
Take care of our girls.
You're gonna miraculously be fine. Or not. I really thought she was gone in the previous episode, so the fact that she kind of got to have last words with Beatrice is actually everything.
We did everything we could.
Where's Camilla? How difficult their start was. They came to care for each other so much. She was so... Your life, if God rejects you from heaven, then fucking hell no one's getting in. The amount of light you brought to the world. What's it doing? What the hell yes, but what the fuck? Her scar's gone. Right?
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. There really was a miracle today. See, like, that's the kind of thing that would have me believing in a god if there were miracles like that happening, but they just this. That was the way Ava was just like mother, because she is I mean, I don't think, you know, she is such a motherly figure, a caretaker figure to these girls, these brave women who are fighting and risking everything, but just having that figure of authority and comfort is everything. And the fact that Ava, if you think about when, like, at the beginning when she didn't trust anybody, and then when Mother Superior, as she even said, resented Ava, and so Ava was like, yeah, you don't like me, I don't like you, you know, it was all kind of just the way they started to where they are now, and then just the Halo. Like, I think that was part Ava, part the Halo being like, you know, yeah, like, I rejected you, but that doesn't mean you're not worthy of good things. And also Ava, her love spilling out, but also does that mean that the Halo can heal anybody? It's like, if Beatrice is injured later, we'll just go heal her. If Camilla's not here because she's currently, like, got a sore finger, we'll go heal her. Like, can we do that, please? Yeah?
This is a miracle.
Oh, it
I
is.
suppose as a former Halo bearer, I still have a connection with it.
Okay, so it's specific to her
Reach
because of
out
that.
for me. We should pray.
If you believe,
For
you should.
Camilla, Yasmin, and everyone we've lost.
They're not lost. So Camilla and Yasmin are just a bit late getting back. Or worse comes to it, they've been taken prisoner, but like they're just a bit late getting back. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
I mean, who are we even praying to?
Oof.
Beatrice.
Oof. Beatrice is having a crisis of faith, and I do not blame her, but as much as I'm someone that doesn't believe and can't understand how anybody does, I can't imagine how painful it must be to question your faith when it has been something that is this vitally important to you. So I kind of do hope Beatrice will get it back. And in most shows, whenever a religious character has a crisis of faith, they always get it back. So I hope she does.
But if I had grabbed the crown, we could have beaten Adriel and none of this would have happened. Camilla, Yasmin, they might be here with us.
So you're saying if I had died, the
Oh,
others might have lived?
that's not what
Saying that
she
maybe
means
we're
at
just-
all.
Delaying the inevitable.
The Beatrice I know never...
Camilla's not
stops hoping.
dead.
Never loses hope.
No.
Everyone reaches a breaking point.
Run.
If you think about it, how Beatrice's entire life has been given to the church, and now she's watching as everything to the church and religion, to faith, as that crumbles down around them, as the Pope gets like fried alive when he was trying to expose a false idol. He was trying to do God's work. I had my problems with that man, but he was trying to do the right thing. And did God protect him? Did God help reward the followers? No. So you can totally understand why Beatrice is feeling this way. And, you know, she's lost some of her sisters, and she'll probably, when she thinks about it, joining the OCS, her mission, if stopping Adriel would have cost Ava her life, she should be okay with that, and she isn't okay with that, and that will be something she's at odds with. And it breaks my heart to see her like this, because she's our Beatrice, and, you know, for so long she's been the one that's kept it together and kept us going, but at the same time she is human, and she is allowed to need support too, and she's allowed to reach breaking point, and this hurts a lot, in a lot of ways.
Hide.
I could teach you how to drink.
A normal life that they deserve.
I can't.
It's gonna be okay. Right now, we've just had an extraordinarily traumatic night, okay? Things are gonna be okay. We've just got to get through this stretch. Camilla. She's locked up with the guy she fancied, right? That's nice.
So,
She's alive, and
think we
that's
should
what I care
exchange
for.
names.
It's Rhea, isn't it? Something happened when you looked at her.
There's only one way to stop Adriel.
She's raised him to be her
That's why
zealot.
she sent me back.
By sacrificing yourself.
No one should have to do that.
Don't blame yourself.
How can I not?
There were forces at play that we couldn't understand.
You wouldn't have lived this long, I don't think,
Both.
without it.
Pawns in an ancient game.
They really were. And you don't deserve to lose your life
Never
over
did anything
this.
but tried to help me. To love me.
Very irritating last season, but yes, that is true.
I missed you.
Okay, look. People, no one is dying. He is surviving this season, she is surviving this season, and they're gonna get to spend the rest of their lives in each other's lives. They can be doing whatever the fuck they want to, I don't care. But together and knowing each other. And yes, she's missed out on the last like 10, 20 years. I don't know how old he was supposed to be then and how old he's supposed to be now. But he probably doesn't even know himself. But they can have the rest of their lives together. It's gonna be fine. And none of my nuns are gonna die either. Doesn't seem like we'll be seeing Todd again. Guys, if you could help, we could overpower these two.
I'll go with you, stop! I'll go with you, just leave her alone, okay?
Todd. Goodbye, Todd. Like, if we see him again, he's going to be possessed by a demon, if not something worse.
There's another way, I know it.
Stay strong, Ava.
Embracing death can lead to enlightenment.
Enlightenment. Did Rhea feature that shit?
Ava.
No. No. Fuck the enlightenment of death.
Rhea raised you and used you as she's
Being
not a good
manipulated by these divine
existent.
beings. There's no heaven. No enlightenment. It's just nothing.
I suppose religious people would assume that people like Ava who've lived that just forget heaven, or like it was always destined by God that they would come back to life, so she doesn't get to go until later. But on the subject of Michael, it really breaks my heart because he was just a sweet kid who was sick and his mum was trying to help him and she was making a lot of questionable choices when she was doing that. And then he was raised and turned into this weapon designed to kill itself by Rhea. And God knows what has been put into this boy's head. Like, how do we break through to that?
What good is living if the world dies around us? We're out of options.
He's right, that's the worst. I mean, they're both right.
No.
They have to be prepared to do this if there is literally no other option, but at the same time,
Experience says there's always
we need
hope.
to try to find an option.
There's always another option.
He is struggling. I mean, his addiction is not anything I judge him for. It is an illness. All his other choices are his choice, and he's a shit person. Falling angel, last hope. There would be people who would be terrified of Adriel and would be trying to stop him, or would just be, you know, paying lip service to it. She found him. You gonna try and do something good for once?
I was hoping against hope.
I mean, this doesn't make up for anything. But I'm so proud of Ava in this moment because she trusted her instincts, and she trusted her instincts to believe in people, to believe that someone as cowardly as Vincent could do the right thing, could look at what was happening and realize that he had made a series of dumb, stupid choices. And Ava believed in him enough for that, and believed in herself and her instincts enough, if anything, that she like, I feel like season 1 Ava would have potentially just refused to even have a civil conversation with someone like Vincent after what they'd done, or maybe would have doubted her own instincts that he was wavering, because it was just a shared look in a moment. That could have been that he was just a bit scared of all the fighting going on, although we know he's not exactly scared of fighting, but you know, he was a bit overwhelmed in the moment. And I love her so much.
You're all right.
Todd has been demonized.
Now you enter his service.
No!
They must be being possessed with demons of some kind, right? Camilla, we're getting information.
What did he do to you?
Good, Camilla, stay strong.
Jasmine?
Hi, Camilla.
I have so many questions.
Me too, but I'm so proud of you. I was like honestly beginning to be concerned that she was dead, and I was trying to tell myself, well, you know, we don't really know her that well, so it's okay. Okay, good, sweethearts, run. Get information and run.
Sorry it took me so long.
Trust me, you were right on time.
Can we go and free the others that are in the prison?
Oh my god, that was scary. I've never clunked anyone on the head before.
You did brilliant clonking.
Prepare me for that kind of work.
Oh, a baby! I'm guessing if Ava was here, we'd see the demon. Oh my lord.
What happened?
We have to call the others.
I don't want to stay here. I'm afraid.
I think maybe at best we need to free the people that are in the cells that haven't been brainwashed yet and come back for everybody else, unless Camilla has a plan. I do trust Camilla's plans.
Sister warriors, don't run.
I'm not a sister.
Yes, you are.
You are
You're
now.
one of us now.
I realized that just because a man can create miracles, that doesn't make him God.
Whoa, shock.
Turns out it just makes him a man.
You must not give up, Ava. You can still win this.
Give us every piece of information you
Did
have.
you see us out there?
There's nothing more I can do. I have betrayed my church, my family, and
Yep.
my world.
Yep.
I'm broken in body and soul.
You could keep trying to make it up, make a difference. fix it.
One ember of hope left in my heart.
Boo-hoo.
The new Bible.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Read.
Ava, stay strong. Look at your mighty God now. He's still clutching that like it's holy. Smell it.
Adriel's afraid of the crown.
Did she see why? Did she see into his head?
Something inside it. Some truth. Embracing death.
Ava.
Can lead to enlightenment.
Ava. Ava. But also, if you're going to do something like I think you're going to do, like put the crown on or something, tell somebody else, because if they walk in and they see Vincent standing over you and you have the crown on your head, they will just execute him.
We need to send everyone to help us stop it. Bye.
Camilla, you could have given some more information.
Camilla and Yasmin are alive. Get the thing off of her.
Stop. Ava chose this. She put the crown on herself.
She should have told someone before she did it.
It's true.
Beatrice.
I don't know.
Ava should have told someone. I suppose she thought they'd stop her. I'm so proud of you, my love. She saw this when Vincent had it on her, didn't she? Earlier in the season. Can we have a chat? Is the truth just we need to have a talk to these Tarasques?
Come on.
Okay, so this was a much calmer episode. I definitely feel like the last episode, and then this one was the pieces settling. It was everything getting into place, ready for the finale, which I'm terrified of, because how on earth are they gonna? I mean, I say how on earth are they gonna resolve everything in the finale? There is no guarantee that they will. I mean, the last finale, we like freed Adriel, realized he was evil, and then he was just loose. So it could very much have another cliffhanger. But oh my god, so this episode was really good. It definitely was kind of a step down in terms of like anguish from the previous one, but it also was in no means bad or anguish free. So that was great. Vincent, I don't care, but I'm glad he's back, if that makes sense. Like, I couldn't care less about the man, whatever he chooses to do. Like, as long as he needs to do everything he can to stop Adriel, he needs to give every single blood, sweat, tear, bit of grit and determination he has to stop Adriel, then he can just fuck off. But I am proud of Ava for recognizing that moment of hesitation in him, recognizing him and his weaknesses and his, you know, his patterns enough to know where to find him, and bringing him in, trusting her own instincts. That is what pleases me most of all, is to see Ava shining, looking for another solution, not just accepting the easy one, because we did see in the previous episode that when it came down to it, when she looked around and she truly could not see another way, she was going to do it. She was going to take Michael's hand and she was going to activate the bomb and she was going to die. But we know that if push comes to shove, if it is the choice between her own life and the rest of the world, Ava will do the right thing. But she shouldn't have to, and neither should Michael. And the fact that Rhea is apparently this all-powerful being, and her literal only plan was, I'm going to raise a human child and send him to go be a bomb, tells you a lot about Rhea. Now, I don't even know, like, there's just so much to unravel. So, Vincent, I don't care about. I will say that I think his arc this season is believable. He was someone, I mean, like I said 1,000 times in this season, I do think if you already believe in an invisible force in the sky or whatever that is controlling you, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful, I just mean like if you already believe in something that you can't see and there is no proof of, when somebody comes along who you can see and there is proof of, and who is essentially the thing you're already believing in, you're probably gonna be, some people with that kind of belief will be easily swayed to it. Others will stay hard and fast to their original belief. Like, it's not, you know, then there'll probably be non-believers who'll be like, oh, well, I can see that, so I'm going to go believe it. But I've found it interesting to watch Vincent this season, because it's kind of funny to me in a lot of ways to watch him lose faith, because, like, fuck you, what did you expect? And I think his own ego got in the way. He loved the idea that this Jesus-like figure would reach out to him and that he would be the right hand. And so the fact that he took the crown, he left, he he just hoped Ava would find him. He made no actual attempt to find him himself because he's still a stupid man. But I love the fact that he is... I love that he didn't just sort of think, well, I've made my bed, I'm going to lie in it now. That he is truly seeing the truth of what Adriel is. And I will still never like him, but I will tolerate his existence more if he actually continues down this path and just stops being like, oh, I've just got no hope, I give up. Because that doesn't help anybody. He can say, I do not know what to suggest, I have no offers. He should write down, tell them every single thing he knows about Adriel's operation, in case there's anything he knows that they don't. That's something he can do for sure. And then he should say, look, I am a body and hands, tell me what you need and I will do it. So it's interesting to see where he's going to go next. And he's very lucky that they didn't shoot to kill when they saw him over Ava with the crown. Now, Ava and Michael in that conversation, and Michael and his mother. I desperately hope this season does not end with Michael or his mother not being alive anymore, because they deserve a chance to know each other. They deserve a chance to have their relationship back, because I did not like Dr. Salvius, I can't remember her first name, in the first season. Maybe I came around to her a bit when we understood her. She felt kind of like an annoyance. She felt kind of like an element of the plot that when it came to that I didn't really care about as much. Obviously that changed as the season developed, because you got to understand just how significant she was to the main plot line. And when you understood her motivations, you could relate to them, but it was still stupid what she was doing. But she really, I mean, she paid the price for that, and so did her son. But you could also argue that, well, her son was unlikely to survive as long as he has if this hadn't have happened. Yes, they would have had time together and it wouldn't have been as traumatic, so maybe in the end she did the right thing. But the idea of getting your kid back only to find that he is now slightly brainwashed and willing to suicide bomb to save everybody, and you might lose your child when you've just got him back. I can't even imagine that. And I really hope, I mean, at the moment, I honestly have no idea what's going to happen. Adriel could live on to be a villain in season 3, and I hope we get season 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, all the seasons of this show. I will say I've had to re-record intros before, and I've had to rename files after I've made them, because I'm constantly calling this a season 4 of Warrior Nun for some unknown reason. So it needs to have at least a season 4, 5, 6. But going forward, like, the plan could well be that Adriel lives on for forever, but I also could definitely see the plan being that Rhea becomes the big bad. Potentially even Lilith could be a big bad at some point, but she irritates me. We'll get to Lilith. But I could definitely see going forward Rhea being an even bigger threat. That, yes, I think she wants Adriel and the Halo back, things from her realm back where they came from, but she's kind of, I don't know, maybe she'll just be another godlike figure and she'll be totally fine. But I definitely could see it being that she is this big bad, because she took this kid, she helped heal him, raised him, made him a bomb, sent him back to go and die. You know, she's not an ethically good person. For someone with as much power as she has, she literally couldn't think of any other way. But what she's suggesting would get rid of Adriel and the Halo and tie up her loose ends nice and neatly. So I don't think we've had the last of Rhea. So that makes me hope that Michael both survives and that we can then begin to learn more about what his life was like. So funny, when he first appeared and he was Miguel, you know, I was like, oh, he's pretty, he doesn't seem bad, but I was also like, we don't need him. Now he's such an integral part of the show, and I do want to know more about what he went through on the other side, what it was like over there, what he saw, what he experienced. But I hope that when that happens, we're able to see him choose himself over Rhea, but we will see. God knows what Dr. Salvius is going through right now. Julian, that's her name, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so Lilith. I don't care. I don't at this point. I mean, I do care. She's a very interesting character. I'm just being a bit, like, glib isn't the right word, but I'm just being, like, you know, annoying myself. But, like, I cannot imagine, all right? You are this woman who, I mean, I can kind of see where it's come from. You know, her family, she never felt good enough. Even though she was brilliant and fantastic, she still was never good enough for them, and she had to keep fighting and pushing. And then she didn't get the Halo. But realistically, no one deserves the Halo. I mean, you can, when you have it, it is simply, do you live up to it or not? And Ava is living up to it. Yes, of course she struggled to begin with. No, she didn't have any preparation or training. Lilith, I honestly think, would have been a terrible Halo bearer, and it most likely would have rejected her, just like it rejected Suzanne. But to see Lilith now being as supremely powerful as she is, and yet still referring to Adriel in worshipping tones, still being like, oh, he showed me the truth, he is greatness. Oh, I mean, she didn't say that, but she essentially did. It is ridiculous. And the fact that Lilith is now like threatening, like, join us or else. It is literally just because she has got a taste of power for the first time, and because Adriel is currently using her in a way of like, oh, Lilith, you're everything, you're so powerful, oh my god, I love you, so he can use her. It's just so stupid. And I feel like as a character, I hoped for so much more for Lilith. I really hoped in season 1 at the beginning, we really saw that kind of, she had that just sort of blind vengeance about, I deserve the halo, I hate Ava, I want to kill her so I can take it from her. I don't care that she's innocent, I'm going to kill her and get the halo. You know, we really kind of saw that power-hungry, egotistical Lilith. And then she, I'm pretty sure, jumped in front of Ava with the Tarask thing, and then when she came back, I was sort of thinking, oh, maybe this experience is going to have changed her, going to help her begin to grow. And I don't care if she says, well, I don't want to rejoin the OCS because I think that that was an organisation that used me or stifled me or whatever she wants to say, because fair enough, people can change their minds about faith organisations. But the fact that she is now hurting people and willfully with Adriel because she's got another little bit of power shows me that Lilith did not learn anything and has not changed. And so if the demon Lilith falls from the sky and is stabbed and dies next episode, I will be like, oh, that was a waste of a character, and I'll move on, because she's already becoming a waste of a character. Now, if she becomes more of a villain, she's not really a waste, she's just a villain, and we'll dislike her because she's a villain. But you know what I mean, like the promise of the character she could have been. Also, Lilith in like the Bible is like a demon thing. Her parents really were like, we're gonna name our child after a demon. But I'm also, on the flip side, very proud of Ava and how she handled that conversation and that situation. Again, the Ava we first met, understandably so, would have been tempted by Adriel's offer because she didn't want any of these responsibilities and she wanted to get to live. And she still does, but she's beginning to weigh up the responsibilities. Someone else that was heartbreaking in this episode was Beatrice. To see her kind of break, I think she's been heading towards that. We all have been, because they're going through unprecedentedly terrible times. But the level of that fight, I think it was watching, I mean, she watched the Pope get fried alive. Their whole plan to stop Adriel failed. And then Ava was going to die to stop him, and Beatrice stopped her. I think we already saw her. She was already battling with, they're all battling with the revelation of what this all means for their faith, and, you know, what Adriel means. How does it affect what they believe in? How does it affect their religion and their comprehension of religion and the stories they were told? The foundation of the OCS isn't even the same as what they were originally told. You know, everything that they base their lives on is on a shaky foundation right now. And then she's also falling for Ava, and I feel like probably that moment where she did save Ava over the mission is shaking her even further, because yes, her job is to protect the warrior nun, but it's not to protect the warrior nun at the expense of everybody else. And I think that level of love she's feeling is something she's struggling to justify or allow herself, because she doesn't feel like she deserves it to an extent. So I do hope in this finale, I mean, I want them to talk. Do not think they're going to freaking have time to talk, but I hope we find Beatrice finding faith in herself, because I think having religion can be a good thing. And, you know, I've said before, I kind of envy people who believe that when they die they're going to go to heaven and see everyone they love. But it can be something that's comforting and it can give you strength. But you can't rely solely on that faith. You also have to have faith in yourself and the people around you, or else you're never going to be able to face the things life throws at you. So I hope we see Beatrice come to terms with who she is and what she believes in the next episode. Very proud of Camilla and Yasmin for both surviving, and for Yasmin for like infiltrating, staying alive, freeing Camilla. I don't entirely know what Camilla's plan is. Like, obviously what's happening here is absolutely terrible and we do need to stop it, but we literally just tried storming the place and failed. Why do we think doing it exactly again is gonna work? Maybe because I think the information Ava gets now might help, but why does Camilla, I think Camilla is just acting on kind of instinct, which isn't wrong necessarily, but she's kind of acting on that, this is wrong, this is terrible, I have to stop it. Whereas realistically, if we all just charged in right now, they would just either capture or kill everybody else. Obviously watching babies get possessed by demons is not a good thing, but I don't know what Camilla's plan is right now. Freeing all the other prisoners and leaving would be a good start, but we will see what her plan is and what happens next, and hopefully Ava will be able to present some kind of useful information going forwards that from the crown. And maybe she has to battle all the Tarasks and then do something, I don't know, but I'm excited to see what she learns. Now, Suzanne, Mother Superior, coming back to life was everything. At the beginning, I was just kind of happy that we had that moment, that we got to see her talk to Beatrice. We got to see her kind of share her last fears and regrets and have kind of the comfort of, you were enough and like you were good enough and of course you're gonna get to heaven, and have that kind of that last moment, so that her last moments were not spent in fear with not Vincent, it was Cardinal Duretti or whatever his name is, standing over her with the gun. You know, her last moments were of comfort. I loved that, and I was kind of relieved by that. But then for the Halo to respond to its previous bearer and heal them, is there a world in which the Halo could leave Ava but be in proximity to Ava and heal her? And like heal all of her, heal her death, heal her spinal injury, heal everything, and then she would be free of the warrior nun. I'm thinking more for like end of the show vibes, so that she can, you know, have a normal life with Beatrice. You know, is that a thing? Because if the Halo was able to heal one of its previous bearers from death and from her other injuries, older injuries, that is maybe a flicker of hope for the future. Again, I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's what I'm going to hold on to. There's so many characters and such a rich tapestry, and I'm genuinely worried that I've missed a really important part. So into the finale, what to expect? I genuinely don't know. I mean, I'm expecting stressful times with Ava in her vision, or I don't know if it's even a vision. Maybe she's literally actually in another plane. But hopefully some vital information, something that, I mean, Adriel was terrified of it. We've also seen that we're able to use his powers against him to a degree, both with Camilla was able to talk to him through the head thingamabob, and Ava and Vincent were able to do it back at him through the geranium, I was going to say. You know what I mean. And I do think it's so, like, he's clearly not as powerful and as wonderful and as all-knowing as he claims, and yet that stupid man is like, I will take this Bible. The idiocy of men. How the hell are we going to resolve this? Now, obviously, I'm praying that the episode opens and Ava is like, I have had a revelation. Now, in terms of them, like, currently, clearly, right now, Adriel doesn't view them as a threat because they are in Julian Salvius's mansion. They know where they breached it yesterday. Like, so it's kind of scary in a way to see just how much he does not view them as a threat, because he knows where they are. It's not like they then fled that place because it was compromised. They're still there. So maybe after the little meeting that they just had, he will view them as a threat, but he doesn't view them as a threat anymore. The other thing I hope we find out is exactly what Adriel is up to. Because yes, he's possessing people with the demons and then he has his loyal followers, but what is he using the little Stargate arc for? What does he want to bring to or from the other plane? Oh, so many questions. And how on earth are we going to stop him? Are we going to stop him in the next episode, or are we just going to stop him for now? One thing I want to touch on is that mural that had Ava, I believe Ava as the angel descending to stop the evil and like our last hope. It's exactly like I've been saying. There will be people who watched Adriel and are convinced they're zealots now. There will be people who are terrified and so are smiling and cheering and applauding and going through the motions. But I suppose the sun will burn them. But you know, they're doing their best to stay alive. And then there will be people who are horrified about this and are not even pretending to believe. Maybe they're pretending secretly, but you know, there will be people who are hard and fast not believing. It's not going to be as clear-cut as Adriel would want, but I also feel like Adriel is more than happy to kill/possess every single person that isn't following him. So it's going to be a pretty intense finale. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and thank you so much for watching.